Uzma, Akorfa, I think we can get started.
Okay. Hello and welcome everyone. Welcome once again to the Community of Practice webinar for the Higher Education Engagement and Transformation. So if today is your first time joining us, special welcome to you. And today we have guests from Egypt who would be sharing their experience with us. So again, welcome to you all. And today I also have a special guest with me who would be introducing herself shortly. My name is Akofa Dawson, and I am the youth co-champion for the Higher Education Engagement and Transformation Community of Practice. And today's webinar would be on shaping skills for climate change impact through higher education services in Egypt. Please write your name in the chat and let us know where you are from, whether you're a student, you're a faculty, or within the higher education space. Which country are you joining us from? We would like to know. Right, next slide, please. Right. So as I mentioned, my name is Akofa Dawson, and I'm the co-champion or youth advisor for the Higher Education Engagement and Transformation Community of Practice. So today we have a special guest who is Uzma, and Uzma will introduce herself before I take over again and let us know what has been happening in the Higher Education Engagement and Transformation Community of Practice. So handing on my virtual mic to you, Uzma.
Okay, thank you so much. And thank you everyone for joining. It is a great pleasure to have you join us for this very important topic. My name is Uzma Anzar. I work as the technical advisor with FHI 360 with the Global Education Group. And I am filling in big shoes of Yolande, who has been leading the championship of this community of practice. She's on vacation. So I am helping Akorfa with this webinar and some other things. So it is very nice to meet everyone and welcome again. And Akorfa is going to give you a brief introduction about the Higher Education Engagement and Transformation Community of Practice. And then we have two distinguished leaders from Egypt, EHAB and NASHPRO, who are going to give you a brief background about the scholarship programs that are USAID funded and being implemented in Egypt. And then the main focus of our conversation today is two young climate change scholars in Egypt who are going to talk about their inspiring stories and how and what led to them choosing climate as the focus of their professional lives. And then we will have question and answer and discussions. And the next steps will be explained by Akorfa. Akorfa, over to you. Yes.
Yes, thank you again, Uzma. So just briefly on the Higher Education Engagement and Transformation Community of Practice. So our aim is to engage expertise within the international education community to advance higher education and youth learning priorities. So our target is to engage older youth from 18 to 35 to integrate transformational positive youth development approaches and work to strengthen the link between PYD and higher education programming. So in our webinars, you'd see a mixture of students, faculty, people in the international higher education space, all coming together to share mutual knowledge and to network and to share their experiences as well. So just briefly on what we've been up to so far. Next slide, please. Yes. So 2023 has been an exciting year for us. We chose the theme how higher education services help students shape or carve their career paths. So in March this year, we had a webinar with speakers from Ghana and Jamaica. Please mute. Thank you. Right. So we had a webinar with guests from Ghana and Jamaica, and the topic was on carving a career path with the influence of higher education services. So they joined and they shared their experiences with us, and we also have their blog posts on the website. So in April, we went to Mozambique to find out how university career centers were shaping skills for employability. And in May, we shared the blog posts of Jacob and Sashoni, who were on the March webinar. So June, just last month, we collaborated with the Gender Community of Practice to have a coffee chat. So the webinars are the formal ones and the coffee chats are the casual conversations for networking. So this was on Beyond Binaries, Navigating Gender Identities in Higher Education. So the interesting thing about this is that all the recordings and slides are available on the website for you to catch up on. And today we are having this webinar, which is Shaping Skills for Climate Change Impacts through Higher Education Services in Egypt. So I'm very excited about this because we're going to hear very inspirational stories from climate scholars. So I'm handing over back to Uzma as the conversations commence. Thank you.
Sorry, I was speaking without turning on my mic. So as Akorfa mentioned, you know, this is an exciting topic because climate is one of you know, it is of utmost importance to all of us nowadays. This is also a topic where even though local governments and international level efforts are important to address the climate challenges, what we, the individuals, do and our personal choices also make a tremendous impact on climate mitigation, right? So our agenda today is to hear from two young university scholars from Egypt who are engaged in activities and are providing leadership to make this world a better place at their individual level, right? So you will hear from them directly, but the people who assisted with their journey and with their work are here today. Ihab Abdullah is the chief of party for a USAID Scholarship Activity in Egypt, and Nashwa Abdulaziz is the private sector and alumni engagement officer at Amadis. And I hand it over to you, Ihab, to talk a little bit about yourself and your program. And then
thank you very much, Uzma. Thank you very much. I'm happy to be with, on this webinar and this event, talk about this, hot, sensitive topic of climate change. Thank you for the introduction. Again, I have Abdullah, the Chief of Party for USAID Scholars Activity, a program that is implemented by the American University in Cairo, Egypt. The program offers several opportunities for 4 or 5 years of university scholarships across a variety of critical specializations or measures of study. We offer scholarships to 700 students from underserved, marginalized communities, including those with disabilities, between the years 2020 and 2030 to obtain the bachelor degree at 9 distinguished Egyptian public and non-public universities. The program accepts qualified students from all 27 cities or governorates across Egypt. The selection process takes into consideration the equal representation of gender, geographic distribution, the diversity of disciplines, studying in credit hour, English-based and tuition-based study programs in compliance with the admission criteria in the partner universities, and at the same time, the representation of people with disabilities. Scholars are enrolled in the program or study majors and academic programs at universities in specializations that aim to support Egypt's economic, social, and environmental development plans in critical fields, and with a special focus on water, energy, agriculture, nursing, and climate change. The program also provides opportunities for students to conduct undergraduate scientific research, promoting excellence, innovation, as well as preparedness for the job market. So that's what USAID Scholars Activity is in a nutshell. And once more, I'm very happy to be here with you today.
Thank you. Thank you so much for this very brief and very concise introduction to your program. I hand it over to you, Nashwa.
Thank you, Uzma, for the introduction, and I'm really happy to be with you today to talk about this very important topic. I am Nashwa Abdelaziz, responsible for overseeing the private sector and alumni engagement activities at the Higher Education Initiative Public Universities Scholarship Program, which is in short HEI. HEI is a scholarship program for high-achieving Egyptians to attend undergraduate excellence programs at public Egyptian universities and receive additional training in preparation for the workforce. This program is sponsored by the US government in partnership with the government of Egypt and the Ministry of Higher Education, and is being implemented by Amethyst with the support of Ittijah and Helm Consulting for Inclusive Solutions. HEI Scholarship Program is a full undergraduate program that have been awarded to 673 brilliant undergraduate students since 2015 from all 27 Egyptian governorates, including 44 students with disabilities. 534 students have graduated up to date and are pursuing their careers and further education. Our vision is to narrow the gap between the education and employers to increase the employability of Egyptian youth and enhance their leadership roles in their careers and lives, to the benefit of their families and socioeconomic level and the growth of the Egyptian economy. We are also seeking sustainability through promoting collaboration between universities and the private sector. For HEI, we would like to highlight our students' involvement in climate change-related activities, whether studying in certain fields like water engineering, energy engineering, and environment, or alumni working in jobs related to climate change. 39% of our current scholars and 27% of HEI alumni as of November 2022 study in climate-related technical fields, such as alternative energy engineering, water engineering, agriculture, and biotechnology. Some of our students do graduation projects related to climate change, such as Mustafa Abdullah, one of our scholars studying at the Faculty of Science at Alexandria University, who also attended COP27 as a part of Amethyst and HEI representation at the conference. And this is HEI in a nutshell. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for the introduction and the fact, that USAID is investing so much in education and preparing young Egyptians to tackle climate issues in Egypt. This is amazing. And the fact that, Ihab, you mentioned that people with disabilities are also being focused on, and this is, I think Egypt is one of the first countries that is really making concerted efforts in taking education or bringing people with disabilities into the higher education sector, which is great. Thank you so much for sharing this. And now we come to our brilliant scholars. We have today with us Sarah. Sarah is from Dakhiliya, and as a student, she invented, she is one of the scholars of the scholarships program that we heard about. And as a student, she invented a revolutionary device that purifies car exhaust and turns it into breathable oxygen. So this is an amazing innovation with enormous potential to affect, climate change efforts in Egypt. And we will hear more about Sarah's work and her journey from where from Dakhiliya to the higher education sector and how she is making a difference. And our other brilliant scholar today is Nurhan. She's from Cairo. She graduated in 2020 with a degree in water and environmental engineering from Cairo University. And as part of her scholarship, she also attended a US university, California State University at Los Angeles. She spent a semester there, and what she's doing, how she's utilizing her education from these two institutions, we will hear that inspiring story. So welcome, Sarah and Nurhan. I am going to begin with asking, to opening up the conversation with you, Nurhan and Sarah, by asking you, tell us, how did you know what you wanted to do in life? Where did your journey begin? Please, Go ahead, Sarah.
For me, since my childhood, I volunteered in a lot of student activities and participate in competitions and taking a lot of courses. And by searching the internet, that helped me to gain a lot of experience and learn more about what I want to do in my life, which helped me a lot in knowing how I am and in what way I can leave my impact and on my society. A large part of the credit goes to my family, which helped me and supported me to know my goal, and my scholarship also gave me part of the credit, and that it helped me to join the department I dreamed about.
Thank you so much, Sarah. I totally agree. Family support, and of course, coupled by support by the university, and lucky enough to get a USAID scholarship really puts you on a trajectory that is amazing. Nurhan.
For me, it really happened from an early age. I was interested in the environment because I have the memories of seeing the black clouds in where I live, because I live nearby an industrial zone. And I used to see the emissions very clearly in the morning going to school, and I can tell like it's not the normal, because I can see skies are very blue in the cartoons and when I go visit my relatives. Then when I had my first science class, it opened my eyes when they said that a green belt of trees around the city can clear the skies and can reduce the effects of the emissions and so on. It really like this experience, it solidified my decision to pursue a career in climate change.
Absolutely. What a great story that you saw the impact of climate every day while going to school, and you at an individual level decided to address the issue. So thank you for your leadership for doing this. Now we are going to turn to both Sarah and Nurhan. They are going to have a conversation with each other, and through that conversation we will learn more about their activities and how they are making a difference. So Sarah and Nurhan, over to you.
Okay, Nohan, it's time for questions. First question, where do you come from and what was your local university like? What motivated you to pursue higher education?
Okay, so as I mentioned, I live in Cairo, near an industrial area where there is oil refining plants. My university experience was quite exciting. We had lots of field trips to farms, to shore protection projects, and many international conferences like Cairo Water Week. I believe in CoP 27, they provided the opportunity to the students to go to CoP 27 as well. I knew that I want to pursue an opportunity as a higher education opportunity with the USAID, because during one of the activities I did with the Ministry of Environment, there was a girl and she was doing her community service for during summer for her scholarship, and she told all the kids about her experience with her scholarship and how she got a better educational experience. And like this is why like I felt like I need to pursue a better educational opportunity, and I was looking forward to scholarships to have a better program rather than just apply for the public university. So I applied for HEI.
Good. You volunteered, you had mentors, you did internships, and you took courses. How did all these opportunities present themselves? Did you know they exceeded? How and why you take them? And what value and impact did you have?
Okay, so I started volunteering at my school when I was 9 years old, but I officially became a volunteer for climate change causes when I was 16 with the Ministry of Environment. Recently, I volunteered for COP 17 and COP 27, and I'm currently a volunteer for teaching kids about environmental science at most public libraries. the opportunities I was looking for, like some of them, it just happened that I knew about them, and following an opportunity after another, you will find your way. I also had lots of other opportunities through HEI, like mentorship programs and internship programs in the climate field. I had an internship in environmental engineering in many different industries, and the scholarship definitely supported me to get those opportunities. And of course, like everything coming together, the environmental engineering internship, my mentor, my volunteering experience, it all came together, and it is finding an opportunity in sustainability field, which I'm working in now.
Impressive. This is very inspiring. You are a climate change advocate. Can you tell us more about it?
Yeah, okay. So you can see like different pictures from the activities I have done in my climate advocacy journey. The one to the left, it was a cleanup. I volunteered in many cleanups, and I organized the cleanups myself. Also, there's a picture from COP27. I was a technical reporting volunteer, but what I really love doing and volunteering for is raising the environmental awareness cause. So you can see like two pictures. One of them is teaching kids about the environmental science at a public library, and the other one is teaching my peers in an event. It was related to raising the Egyptian youth about the Nile River.
Good. It's very impressive and inspiring.
Indeed, absolutely. And the fact that you were a 9-year-old activist, that is amazing.
Yeah, that's nice.
You had the spark from the very beginning. Excellent. So now, Nurhan, you can ask your questions to Sarah.
Okay, Sarah, it's your turn now. So tell us, Sarah, where do you come from, and what was your local university like, and what motivated you to pursue higher education?
I'm from the Ahliya in northern part of Egypt. Studying computer and communication engineering at Mansour University, which is known for its strong engineering program and commitment to providing quality education. Therefore, my university had a great merit in helping me to learn from new trends in many fields, and to be in a society that helped me to develop my skills, knowledge, and behavior every day. One of the most important things that motivates me is to leave an impact and legacy after me, whether in my community and society, or in the world after me. So it was one of the reasons that pushed me to continue. What motivates me to work on the project that related to climate change and environmental problems, the conditions that we suffer from climate change. We suffer from climate change in Mansoura. Mansoura is a small city and a high crowded city with a lot of pollution. Part of what we suffer from car exhaust resulting from the amount of cars we have in Mansoura, which motivates me to find a solution to solve this problem. So I try to solve this problem by making a device which purifies the car exhaust and produce oxygen. And Mansoura was known as agricultural city, famous for planting and green areas, now it becomes more with a lot of buildings and a lot of pollution. So it's a big problem that I tried and motivated to solve this problem with projects I made and worked on. In these pictures, first picture was I was in a competition called Real Life. It was in the American University in Cairo. It was about climate change and environmental problems. Our project was about purifying water from oil spills. The second photo was at the time of preparing the first engineering Freyums at Freyum in Mansour University. 2020 was the Dean of Faculty of Engineering, Mansour University. By the way, I was the youngest organizer at this Freyum. The third picture was in the same forum, which I was explaining to the audience about robotics with my team Infinite Loop. In fourth picture, I was attending a session about presentation skills and how to deal with audience in the University Center of Career Development in my university.
Wow, that's very interesting. So some people think to have a career in climate change, you need to have a specific degrees like environmental engineering, climate change science, and so on. But seeing you from a computer science background, it's very interesting. So can you tell us more about how did it start and how your university supported you in your passion towards climate change?
My interest in climate change, environment, and sustainability was one of the most important things that helped me to know a lot about this issue that threaten our lives. I was always sure that I was created to help. I always wanted to know and learn more and more and try to help and find solutions. Since my childhood, I have done an awareness campaign and a project against the danger of car exhaust in my school, so I always dreamed of making a change, whether in my life or in my community. Therefore, environmental affairs and its problems constituted a great challenge for me. So I made many projects that could help the environment and participated in many competitions. And my university can provide a financial fundings for these projects and support this research, whether academically or by providing training and lectures.
So are you saying that university supported you to work on environmental issues? Can you tell us how?
Yes, my university helped me by giving our student activities the credit to make both and make events and help us to go on and work on our project in our university labs or in university lectures room easily. So my university helped me a lot.
Actually, it is very good to hear that universities are supporting the climate change and environmental issues. So did you get any type of career support or did your university provide services or activity to help you to have?
There was, of course, help and support from my parents and my scholarship on this topic. And one of the things that helped me most to develop and achieve what I wanted was competitions, whether they were in my university or other universities, such as the American University in Cairo, and the student activity, of course.
So can you tell us more about the student activities or your volunteering experiences during university and at school?
Yes, when I was in eighth grade, I made an awareness campaign and a project against the danger of car exhaust in a school, and then I participated in anti-ISF competition. And throughout my secondary school, I learned new skills in programming and robotics, and I participated in a lot of student activities in my governorate that serve the environment, including that I did a lot of projects that protect our environment and society, and I give children in my governorate a course to help them to learn programming and robotics, and my friends and me and my friends participated in a project aimed to purify the water from oils, and we participated in many competitions, such as real life competition and Hack 22 in the American University in Cairo.
That was really inspiring, Sarah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for these real life examples of how individuals can make a difference, and especially young people who are at the university level, as supported by universities and international donor scholarship, facilitation. So much can be done. Your stories are really inspiring. Thank you so much. I tell my son, who's your age, that you want to make a difference. Climate is your sector to really save this world. So thank you again for your stories. Having heard you both, I have a question about what recommendations do you have for other students who are younger, like my son, and who are just entering higher education? What recommendations do you have for them to engage in the climate action activities?
So after those years of volunteering and climate change advocacy, I came up with the 5 steps, the formula. It starts with identifying your cause. So climate change causes are very broad, and it needs some technical background. So working on all of them, you definitely will not reach the impact you are seeking. So you need to identify your causes, like clean energy, climate justice, single-use plastics, and so on. You need to pick a one cause to work on or to focus on, so you can see a better result. Then you need to seek opportunities with other organizations to collaborate with them, because my individual efforts, it's important, but when you gather more individual efforts together, you will find better results. So seeing the results will motivate you to keep working. 3, you need to define your target. What do you seek? What results you are seeking? So you need to define the cause and where you should seek opportunities and what results you are seeking. Then planning. So you need to set smart goals. It should be very specific, measurable, attainable, and measurable. Then after 3 months of working on that goal, how can I measure my efforts? Did they do a real impact or not? And last thing is personalizing your cause. So as I mentioned before, I was very concerned about air quality, because in my childhood, I was seeing the emissions coming from the exits of the manufacturing plants. So when I go tell the story of how this impacted my health and my neighborhood and my childhood, telling a personalized, more humanized story, it will have a better impact on the people I'm reaching out. So it's very important to humanize or personalize your story, the cause you're looking for. It will have a better impact, especially on the audience. Um, I hope like this formula, like I got it after like many years of working on the climate advocacy. I hope it will help like other young people to define like how to start the advocacy journey, because like advocacy doesn't require having a specific background, as you can see me from environmental engineering background, but Sarah is from computer science background. I know other people coming from management backgrounds, and they're really believing in their causes.
In addition to what Nurhan said, I'm now 19 years old. But I am volunteering from about 6 years ago. My only advice is that they should complete what they started, even if they don't receive the support they want, because the greatest support for the person comes from within. And believe in themselves and look for opportunities, and that they can now find many sources that can help them in this field, whether online or offline sources. And I see that the student activities and competitions in universities are the best place which you can develop and apply what you learn, and find people who are similar to you and want to achieve what you want.
Again, thank you so much for very articulated answers. I think, Nurhan, your point about telling stories of impact is so important. You know, we can have good statistics and numbers and everything, but the way the stories have an impact on the policy results is very interesting. And Sarah, also for thank you again for a great answer. My next question relates to, you know, what recommendations do you have for universities? I know that you mentioned that your universities assisted and facilitated your work. What other things can the universities do to help students like you who are interested in the climate change adaptation?
Like after I graduated, I can see like the past 2 years, universities have already opened many new majors related to climate change topics. They have more majors related to renewable engineering, sustainability, environmental. It's very diverse, and it serves the interest of the students. But I believe extracurricular activities are also very important to solidify their knowledge and to experience talking to, you know, like seeking sustainability from the social part. So I believe universities need to support student clubs that focus on climate change topics, and to provide them with opportunities, like for example, the universities to give nomination or access for students to attend international events to speak up about their thoughts to the climate change topic, like more opportunities where they get engaged with other people talking about the climate change issues and presenting them to the world.
Great, thank you. Sarah?
For me, as a colleague student, I would very much like my colleague to take care of these things, such as provide funding and scholarship, and scholarships offer financial support, and scholarships and grants specifically targeted towards students pursuing studies and research in climate adaptation, promote awareness and advocacy, raising awareness about climate adaptation, support networking and mentoring, and organize events, seminars, and workshops, provide a practical experience and offer internships, field work opportunities, and experiential program learning programs that allow students to gain hands-on experience in climate adaptation project. This could involve working with local communities, NGOs, and government agencies involved in climate resilience innovations, promote collaboration, facilitate collaboration between different academic departments and research centers within the university, foster research opportunities, encourage and provide funding for research projects related to climate adaptation. And the last one, offer specialized programs, create interdisciplinary degree program for specifically focused on climate adaptation.
Great, thank you so much. I think your suggestions are right on target. I think universities have historically played a very constructive role in addressing a lot of issues locally and regionally. And it is great to see that, starting with your examples, that universities in Egypt now are supporting through career centers and other services efforts like yours, and hopefully everything will continue to improve. My last question to you is, where do you see your future? Where do you see yourself, let's say, 10 years from now?
Okay, so I myself am an impact-oriented person. So I really love seeing results. I love seeing other young people who I target raising their awareness, taking the initiative to reduce their carbon footprint through adopting sustainable lifestyle and eco-friendly choices. I love educating young kids about environmental science. So I really love seeing results. Through my work, I do my best reducing the same carbon footprint for the company and so on. So like I'm more into seeing results, but seeing myself after 10 years, I think maybe I will be doing the same, like more advocacy toward raising the awareness, but it will be a wider network of educating people, maybe.
That's great, thank you. Sarah.
I hope my future will be as I have always dreamed about, and that I will have the knowledge and sufficient money to start my own business, and that I can find work in the field of build systems, leave my legacy and my impact on my society and world, I have give the next generation a healthy and a clean world.
Thank you so much for inspiring goals that you have, and may the power be with you. Thank you so much for sharing your stories. And it was really, I really benefited from that, and the fact that young people in Egypt are making such a great difference, and under the leadership of Ihab and Nashwa. So thank you again. I will hand over to Akorfa now.
Right. It's been a very inspiring conversation so far. Thank you for sharing your stories with us, Sarah and Nuhan. And at this point, I would like to ask if anybody has a question, please unmute yourself and speak. And as we are waiting, if there are no questions, I would go straight to the chat. But given just a few seconds, is anybody here with a question that they would like to unmute and ask? Other than that, I'm going to the chat. Okay. So there's a question from Yolande. Hi, Yolande. I see that there are a few young women like you in the pictures. Do you feel like young women have the same challenges and opportunities as men in your community? So I'm sure this was with regards to the pictures that showed you in action. So Nuhan, Sarah, any of you can take this. do you feel young women have the same challenges and opportunities as men in your community?
Yes, definitely we have more challenges because, like, for example, in my classes as an environmental engineering student, we were 20 students, only 3 or 4 females. So it seems that very challenging for women to have like those educational opportunities. Also, volunteering activities, like not many, like seeing how many volunteers during the COP27 hosted in Egypt, how many Egyptian females were participating. They are not even 50% because their families are not very open for their daughters to travel, spend almost 1 month away from home. So they have a lot of challenges. But if you look at the statistics as, for example, HEI scholarship, UN programs, USAID programs, you will find they're more focused on providing 50% opportunities for females and 50% opportunities for males. So it's going, like it's not that fast to educate the community about women empowerment and their female their daughters, like they need more opportunities as their males or their sons, but like the work in progress.
Right. That's good to know. So any other, yes, you've mentioned the challenges and opportunities, and I heard you speak of the affirmative action that has started to ensure that there's more women representation. Thank you. And do you see younger students wanting to follow your path? So has anyone reached out to you younger than when you started? Do you see younger students looking to follow in your path?
Yes, when I gave a course to a student, a student which they were younger than me, they of course want to follow my path and want to know more and more about what I did. And for me, it's really good to know and see a person which he is my role model, or the ones that I want to follow them path, and of course. A young student in my community wanted to make a change also, and my friends make initiatives in the universities and make and joining competitions, and my generation love to make a change, and they believe in themselves to that they can help our environment.
Right.
I totally, sorry, Akraf, I'm going to just interject here. Totally agree with you, Sarah, that the younger generation of today, everywhere they are, are a lot more motivated and want to do things and get engaged, but just need support. We have a question from Darian Kip, and he's saying, how can we help women from East African community? So I would like Ihab and Nashwa to please answer this question. It is about supporting women, and what are some good examples? Can you provide answers to this, please?
Nashwa, would like to go ahead?
Yes, sure. Well, supporting women from Eastern African country is a big topic, but there are some things, simple things that we can do that can help us support more women, either working in technical fields or other fields. For example, some of the things that are challenging for women in Egypt are not that we give them opportunities, but we give them not only equal opportunities, but we give them opportunities where they can work and do what they are good at and overcome challenges. Like women from Upper Egypt, they are not only facing challenges from their families, because some families now do accept women working either in technical fields or other fields, but they sometimes are facing challenges in commuting, in getting being equally paid as men. So there are a lot of things that we can do, not only just raising awareness, but doing small changes, like providing better transportation for women or for people from rural areas. This is mainly, or these are some small things that we can do.
Right, agreed. Thank you so much, Abdullah.
Thank you, Nashwa. And in addition to what Ms. Nashwa has mentioned, I think what can be done to empower women in the area is definitely raising awareness. But I mean, if according to seeing is believing, so if especially, I mean, some of the challenges come from the young women's families, because for many reasons, they don't trust that, I mean, the current system, I mean, within their country would provide them with enough support that they need. So if they see programs like, I mean, the programs or the graduates that, I mean, who are hosted, I mean, today in the event, and they see the change they can make, and I mean, the journey they have been through, seeing, I mean, these examples really makes a change, okay? Because families start, okay, they at the very beginning, they are reluctant to giving the support or agreeing that their girls would go to join or travel to join such opportunities, or go for work, or go for study. I mean, whatever the purpose that will indirectly empower those young women. But when they see, I mean, families as they are nurturing their kids, that this is really happening in the society, that would, I mean, speak for itself and would really make a real impact.
Totally agree, Ihab. Seeing is believing, and once, you know, success is contagious. When there are good examples of success of young women, you know, doing better and accessing higher education and doing things, others automatically follow, and it becomes like a cycle. So thank you for sharing your thoughts. Akorfa?
Right, thank you for the responses to the questions. And whilst the sessions were going on, there were some things that stood out, and just recapping them briefly. So advocacy doesn't require a specific background, and you have to also set SMART goals. And it's not too early to start volunteering. And I would like to add, or too late as well. You should complete what you started, believe in yourself, look for opportunities, either offline or online, like student competitions to participate in, and find and surround yourself with people with similar goals and interests, so that you can also motivate yourselves in this path that you selected for yourself, that is being an advocate for climate change and making real impact. So if there are no other questions, perhaps we could also share in the chat some key takeaways that we've taken from today's session. Okay, I saw that someone said it's very impressive. Again, I must mention that our guests are so young, but they've been able to achieve so much. And again, it's not too early to start, and you just have to start, because there's just so much that you can do in your own small corner. And also one thing that stood out was how they were all making change in the environment or the community that they find themselves in. Right. So today's session has been a conversation with representatives from Egypt on how they are making good use of higher education services to shape their skills in climate change. So again, I'm encouraging us to share in the chat any key points that we've taken. I just shared a couple of key points that I also took. So if you leave them in the chat, I would read them out to us as well. Okay, all right. So the next step from this is you can join our community. That is our community of practice, the Higher Education Engagement and Transformation Community. And all you have to do is to go to www.youthpower.org and you'd find the register button. So you click on it, connect, and then there's a list of other communities of practice which you may find interesting. But there's also the Higher Education Engagement and Transformation Community of Practice, which you can join. And what is going to happen next is that in August, we would be having a joint coffee chat with the BEPSI Community of Practice. And in September, there's also going to be a joint webinar with the Partners of Americas. We hope to see you. So please stay tuned and you can check on our youthpower.org events page for all the upcoming events. And here are also some resources that you can make good use of. So if there are no other questions at this point, I would like us to turn on our camera so that we take a group picture. Okay, there's one. How far do you see the necessity of teaching green skills for higher education students as a selective curriculum? So before we wrap up by taking a group picture and then going, I would ask Ihab or Nashua just quickly 1 minute to respond to Atef's question, and then we take our group picture and then we end for today. So the question is, how far do you see the necessity of teaching green skills for higher education students as a selective curriculum? Ihab? Nashua?
Ihab, would you like to go first?
Okay. Okay, it's very difficult to answer the question in half a minute, but I think this comes from two basic sources. Okay, the community and then the academic side. From the community, their needs, the social background, the economic background, and all of that has to be taken into consideration. From the academic side, this has to be researched very well before and taken into account while we are making the design of the programs to be offered in the near future, like what is being done for future job market research. Okay, it is being taken into account not by all universities or in every major, but that should be the way forward.
So again, thank you all for joining our session, and we hope you've been inspired by our very young climate change scholars and the action, the real impact that they're making. It was wonderful having you all, and if you happen to have any other questions, please send them our way. You can get interactive with us on our social media handles, which have been shared in the chat, and we wish you all a very good rest of the day, morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you're joining us from. Okay, so it's bye from us.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you so much.